Don't go near these guys. Overrated is the word of the day. All 7 of these players. They're bad. Actually, they're decent. Some of them are, at least. But the price is bad. The price is bad. Don't go near them. 7 guys. Smash the like and subscribe button. Join the Discord for free draft guides, free advice, free trade questions all year. Let's get into these 7 guys. Please don't take them. Name number 1, Xavier Worthy. Oh man, Rashee Rice is out. I can't wait to take Xavier Worthy at ADP of 44. It's a discount. It's the best deal. He's wide receiver. Calm down. Sure, Rashee Rice is out. When Rashee Rice is back, it's going to be his receiving room. I don't know when that is, when he's coming back. At the time of this recording, I don't care. Rashee Rice was bad in 2024. He was actually asked to perform more than what they planned for him to. He was kind of more going to be a gadget role speedster, and he kind of was. And we can see that with the actual amount of targets he was getting. 5.8 targets per game, nothing extraordinary. His receiving yards, about 37 receiving yards per game. Finishes as the wide receiver 43 with 11.0 points per game. And the worst metric of all, his yards per hour was at 1.32. 1.32 yards per hour run. It's the worst thing I've ever seen. Now, sure, oh my God, it's Xavier Worthy. No Rashee Rice. You have a wide receiver going to year 2. Let's calm down. Let's hold the phone. Let's calm down. It's not like Xavier Worthy, like, all right, let's see what he did in the second half of the year. Maybe he had a bad first half and he gained. Oh, he didn't. Second half of the year, 11 points per game. Yards per out run, 1.28. Touchdown rate wasn't obscenely high. Rushing upside, I mean, I guess. I'm not. Is it exciting? Now, Marquise Brown, back. Travis Kelce can't really be less involved than he was last year, right? So the targets are going to have to go to somebody. I do get that argument. They bring in Jalen Royals. You have Marquise Brown, who's his own type of like gadget player, and he can't stay healthy either. So I get it. Honestly, I think Xavier Worthy can average 12, 13, even 14 points per game. I just don't see him having enough of a high volume presence in this offense. His target share is 16%. The second half of the year, it wasn't good, right? So don't be fooled into taking Xavier Worthy with an ADP of 40. You're taking Xavier Worthy. Let's see. Wham, bam. Xavier Worthy you're taking him over Cortland Sutton, Calvin Ridley, Devontae Smith, Jalen Waddle, Jameson Williams, George Pickens. Like, Xavier Worthy, in my eyes, should have an ADP of 60 or worse. Like, he should be next to Roma Dunze, who we'll be talking about Roma Dunze soon enough. So Xavier Worthy, don't touch him. Way overrated. Garrett Wilson is up next. Now, Garrett Wilson, the reason I'm a bit scared of Mr. Garrett Wilson, and let's actually pull him up on the season career averages for Garrett Wilson. He's just going too high. He's going at the end of round 2, beginning of round 3, and we've never seen him post wide receiver 1 numbers. His best season was 2024, I guess. He was the wide receiver 21, played all the snaps, yards per out run, 1.71. I mean, he had a better yards per hour in 2022, his rookie year. Justin Fields is the quarterback. Justin Fields' Las Vegas projection is 2,500 passing yards. Fields already has an injury scare in training camp. It doesn't really matter. It just makes you realize, like, the Jets have no quarterback to pass the ball. There's going to be a rush-first offense. They give Garrett Wilson the 4-year, $130 million contract. That's good for Garrett Wilson, but he's good from a real-life perspective. From a fantasy perspective, he's currently getting drafted as the wide receiver 17, and his best season ever was wide receiver 21. I don't expect why we're going to see, like, even if Garrett Wilson finishes as the wide receiver 15, you're not getting much value. You're not getting much upside. We're looking to draft guys that you're drafting him as wide receiver 17. They can finish as wide receiver 4. I don't see that in Garrett Wilson's future just because of the offense he's in, which is why Garrett Wilson is also on this list. Devonte Adams joins him. Now, Devonte Adams. So with Devonte Adams, I get it. New offense. Matt Stafford is the GOAT. I honestly think Devonte Adams has the chance to be a league winner. His touchdown rate he could post this year could just be so good. He could average 1 touchdown per game. Wouldn't be surprised. You have Puka Nacua as the alpha there, though. But I also have in the back of my head, Puka Nacua has injury concerns. What if Puka misses time? Then Devonte Adams could actually crush. I think he could average 18-plus points per game and be a top 5 wide receiver. He has that in his ceiling outcome. The thing is, Devonte Adams, health and age concerns with him. He's going into, age 32? So that's scary. And the main thing that concerns me here is that the Rams offense, I don't know how much we can trust that Devonte Adams is going to be anything more than a red zone threat. I don't know what Devonte Adams has left in the tank, but the real reason I don't love Devonte Adams is the price, where he's priced as an ADP of 30. You have Mike Evans, Marvin Harrison Jr. You have a lot of good wide receivers going right next to him that I just feel like are less risk, guys that are not 32 years old, guys that aren't the starting wide receiver 2 in their offense. Currently, we have Devonte Adams ranked. He's getting drafted as wide receiver 14 off of boards, ahead of JSN, ahead of Terry McLaurin, ahead of Mike Evans, ahead of Marvin Harrison Jr., ahead of DK Metcalf. All those guys are the wide receiver 1s in their offense. I actually like Devonte Adams for fantasy football this year. I'm just asking for a bit of a discount, right? Like, some of these guys have discounts built in, and I feel like Devonte Adams is almost getting drafted with like no discount whatsoever. And there's other guys that are kind of like that, like Garrett Wilson's one of them, where you're drafting them closer to their higher upside. Go after guys that are undervalued. That's where you win leagues, is getting the undervalued guys that perform higher. I understand that Devonte Adams has that in the realm of his possibilities, in the realm of outcomes. Still, don't love it. Rome Odunze up next. His ADP is around 64, so at least you're getting a bit of a discount. That's kind of what I'm talking about. You're going to get a bit of a discount here, but not a very big one, considering he was the worst wide receiver I've ever seen in my entire life. 700 receiving yards on the season. Touchdown rate, bad. Yards per hour, 1.32. So bad. Similar to Xavier Worthy. 8.5 points per game. You bring in Luther Burden. You bring in Colson Loveland. Caleb Williams, I'm not convinced. I think he's bad. I think Caleb Williams is very overrated. He obviously has fantasy upside because of the rushing potential, but why are we taking Rome Odunze over Ted McMillan? Why are we taking Rome Odunze over Travis Hunter? Those just make no sense to me. Why are we taking Rome Odunze over Chris Godwin? Chris Godwin finished 19 points per game when he was healthy. Trust me. I wouldn't take Rome Odunze if he had an ADP of 100. I would consider taking this guy if he had an ADP of 125. You know, if I'm taking Rome Odunze over Adam Thielen, all right, I get it. Rome Odunze versus Quentin Johnston, that's where I start like, I'm probably still taking Quentin Johnston. I'm not even kidding. So I'm taking Travis Hunter over him. I'm taking Ted McMillan over him. I'm taking Chris Godwin for sure over him. Better wide receivers in his range. He's the most overvalued guy I've ever seen. Stay away from him at all costs. Matthew Golden has an ADP of 79. Now, Golden does have upside. Problem is, the Packers receiving core is where wide receivers go to be mediocre. It's just too competitive. Jaden Reed, Christian Watson out. I get it. Christian Watson's out. Romeo Dobbs, contract year. Dontavian Wicks is there. Tucker Kraft is there. Jaden Reed and Tucker Kraft both are very efficient. They just don't have enough volume. That's going to be a problem here, too. Matthew Golden could be the best wide receiver of all time, which honestly he doesn't project out as that. He projects out as a kind of like a weird type receiver where he's not going to have a huge amount of volume, which is scary not enough. I just don't see enough targets to go around there. You have Josh Jacobs there. Jacobs is going to obviously have it's going to be kind of a rushing heavy offense. I don't like it. I don't like Matthew Golden at price. He goes in a range where there's not many receivers on the board. It's kind of like wide receiver dead zone. You have Cooper Kupp, Stephon Diggs. I'm not going to praise any of them. Jacoby Myers, Jordan Addison, Khalil Shakir, Jawan Jennings, Debo, Ricky Pearsall. So I get it. But rather than go ahead and say, what if Matthew Golden's the wide receiver 1, has a great rookie season, and take like, oh, he's the best receiver on the board. Maybe he is the best receiver on the board, but it's a dead zone. Recognize that and plan ahead earlier. You know, take receivers in the earlier rounds, in the later rounds, and just avoid that dead zone altogether. That's the strategy you want to have to avoid having to take the wide receiver in that round. Speaking of washed up trash, you have Caleb Williams, who in his rookie season was just simply not good. In his rookie season, and also did I mention, when I'm recording this, he just threw 3 interceptions today in training camp. Training camp so far so bad, but you'll be seeing this. You'll have a week or two more of film, or whatever you want to call it, training camp hype. He wasn't good. Touchdown rate, not good. Completion percentage, decent. 63% actually isn't terrible, but his yards per attempt was 6.3, so they were short attempts. His interception rate wasn't bad, and his rushing yards was solid. 29 rushing yards per game is the only reason Caleb Williams is actually in my brain. Like, if Caleb Williams was a pocket passer, bam, you're QB 30. I mean, you're QB 32. The rushing upside alone makes him interesting. He has the very, very good supporting cast now with, you got DJ Moore, you got all the guys we mentioned, you got the tight end, then you got the Lord Loveland, you got Burden if he's healthy, you got Rome Odunze, who I do think actually takes a step forward this year. I just don't like the price. So Caleb Williams is an interesting one where if he was around like 130, if he was going next to Jared Goff, it's fine, but you're pricing him way too high. He goes before Herbert, before Dak Prescott, before Justin Fields, before Drake May, before Jordan Love. His ADP is 103, and he's going like 10 picks after Kyler Murray. 10 picks after Baker Mayfield. I hate the price of Caleb Williams. Can't be taking him at current prices. The final name is Tyrone Tracy. Tyrone Tracy has the potential to be a good pick in fantasy football this year. Problem is, I can't say he has the chance to be a league winner. The Giants' offense doesn't project out to be good, and Cam Scatterbo will have a role. Now, let's say that Cam Scatterbo loses this, and Tyrone Tracy actually wins this competition. Tyrone Tracy is the starter. Tyrone Tracy has a 65% snap percent. Oh, that's not bad. He improves his rushing efficiency because this was a converted receiver, so let's just say he gets better rushing. Let's just say that this former receiver has better receiving usage. What's his ceiling? 14 points per game? If Tyrone Tracy comes out and has 14 points per game, you're drafting him as your RB2. He'd be your RB2. Can you trust it every single week? He was very inconsistent in his game logs. If we go to his game log, he dropped 8, 4, 17, 19, 14, 9, 8. Inconsistency, volatility, scariness. You bring in Scatterbo. Scatterbo's only going to eat in to that role in the red zone at the very least, if not the receiving role as well. So Tyrone Tracy is just a bit too pricey. His ADP is around 100. It's around 90. He goes before Brian Robinson Jr., after Javonte, after Pacheco. I'm taking Pacheco and Javonte and B-Rob Jr. over Tyrone Tracy this year. I recommend you do that too. That's seven names, I think. 7 players. Overrated. Don't touch them. Don't take them. Don't draft them. But smash that like button. Smash the subscribe button. Thanks for watching.